afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I'm Fitzroy and you are?
Captain Andy Balwah, Royal Army Physical Training Corps.
And where are you originally from, sir?
I was actually born in the UK in Balwah, and then my grandmother came over from Trinidad and Tobago and took me back there, and I was raised in Trinidad and Tobago. So my grandmother, she came over from Trinidad and Tobago to take me back there because my mum was a single mum and was struggling essentially. So I was over there as a baby, so I was 18 months old. My gran took me back and she raised me till the age of 21 until I joined the army really.
Any siblings?
I do have a sister, but she's a half sister, so different dads, and there's 18 years between us. Yeah, she was born and bred in the UK, so growing up I didn't have a sibling now until later on.
How did you know about the army?
I always had an interest because I knew I was born in the UK. I was born in England. I thought there was always a yearn or an interest there. I was going to join the Defence Force in Trinidad and Tobago, but I had to give up all my British rights, British passport and stuff like that. So I just wrote to the army. So we're talking 1990s here. I couldn't just send an email. So I wrote to the army, and they sent me loads of brochures, loads of pamphlets, loads of information, and I thought I'll give that a go.
Okay, so can you recall which careers office you went to?
Charing Cross.
Charing Cross. All right.
Yeah, in London.
And the corps that you are a part of now, is it something you initially wanted to be a part of?
No, I didn't even know the Royal Army Physical Training Corps existed, to be honest with you. All I knew there was the British Army, and they had a few different corps. So I walked into the Charing Cross Assessment Centre, and I walked up to the desk, the army desk, and I says, I want to join the army. I didn't know what corps I wanted to join or anything like that. It just so happens the individual who was stood behind the desk was Royal Artillery.
Okay.
So he took me through the barb test, etc., etc. Took me under his wing. I said, no, you don't want to join the infantry, you want to join the artillery, mate. I went, okay, cool. I went, all right. And to be honest, that's how it started from there. I didn't know though at the time that he was going to get a bonus for me.
Right.
Every time, if everybody that he recruited, he would get a bonus. But looking back, it was fine. I enjoyed my time. I joined the Royal Artillery in 1996. So
in terms of basic training, is it something you thought it was like?
That was hard.
Prior?
That was hard, man. Yeah, that was the language, and this is just the stuff I was delivering today on stage. So the language barrier, the weather, the food, the different culture, the accents, everything was just a big blur. I just couldn't understand what was going on. So I was doing a lot of following, looking and see what people were doing just to get by. It was hard. It was hard. Yeah.
In terms of the physical side of it, how did you manage?
That wasn't too bad because I was sporty anyway. So I played a lot of sport. And I knew what the army tests were at the time, so I trained up to make sure I could pass the assessments. I didn't mind physical training. That was all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you felt on your passing out parade?
Emotional, but proud. You know, really proud. I think you can't really relive that. That's something that you just can't forget. I got goosebumps now just thinking about it. So yeah, it was just pride. It was a little bit lonely because I still had no family here. I only had my mum and my stepdad, and my little sister was this big, was tiny. So they came to the parade, but I wish my whole family could be there from Trinidad. So it was sad, but also proud.
So can you recall which regiment were your first unit?
16th Regiment Royal Artillery.
Right.
They were based in Woolwich in southeast London.
Right, that's where I met you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you were my PTI.
That's right.
All right, I'm proud. You're a captain now.
Thank you.
That's
thank you.
That's good. So where do you currently base?
I'm based at the Army Training Centre in Patriot.
Patriot.
Yeah.
So you have gone through a number of obstacles. Maybe you don't want to be specific on obstacles that you have gone through, but if you want to reminisce and few of them, which obstacle would stand out most in your mind as it relates to getting your commission?
All right, that's interesting. So with regards to the commission itself, I think I just wasn't sure if I was prepared. I didn't know if I had the right experience.
Okay.
If I had the right experience to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
But I had good support because I was in the PT Corps since 2006 and I commissioned in 2019. So I had a good base of support, knowledge, skills, and I had a wider awareness of what was needed. So yeah. The biggest obstacle was getting through and being recommended, really. But that's pretty much it with regards to the commission piece. There were different obstacles, but the commission piece, it was about just having the right skills and showing off what I can do, really.
And this was your first try?
No, so I actually applied for commission as a W02, was unsuccessful, because in the RAPTC you can apply as a W02 to commission. Obviously I wasn't successful, but I had another go. I promoted actually to W1 the next year. Went for commission again, I was successful on that one. So yeah, failed one, passed on the other, but only lessons learned from that.
Okay. See. In your current job, what's your role on a day-to-day basis?
So I'm the second in command for Normandy Company. They belong to HQ Regiment at the training centre, Purbright. And our main focus is, there's this but the main focus is on the injured recruits, the ones that get injured on physical training whilst they're in basic training. They come to us if they can't carry on the syllabus, so we look after them. We also look after the recruits who are not quite meeting the standard. So if they're failing the weapon handling test, admin in the field, they need more training, they need more guidance at a slower pace, they come to us. We also deliver the reserve training piece, basic training for reserves. We do a soldier development course. So the guys who go to the assessment centre, like I did all them years ago, if they didn't quite make the standard, they would come to us for 4 weeks. Pass that course, then they start training. And the very last one that we do is we handle the recruits that leave basic training, either because they're unfit for army service for various reasons, or they want to leave as discharge of their own right because they don't feel like it's for them anymore.
Based on your experience, what sort of message you'd want to send out to persons who think they want to join the army? What sort of mind frame they need to have prior?
I think be prepared to just get through basic training. So basic training, people, the recruits in basic training, they think that is the army, and they think that is what they're going to do all the time, and it's not. But you need to get through that. It's a long job interview, and you need to be ready and have that mindset. So be mentally tough, physically fit, and ready. So when you start basic training, you don't have to be concerned about, am I fit enough? That's one less thing to be concerned about.
Okay. Thank you so very much, sir, for this interview. I do hope when I see you again, you'll be a major.
I hope so as well.
Which is not long. Thanks so much for your service.
My pleasure.
I'm very much proud of you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Legend. Thank you, mate.
All right, man. Thanks.
Appreciate that, brother.
All right.